Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ventrilicity with me, Veluxe. That's right, I am back and happier than ever to be covering all the biggest news in Valorant for the Senchigami team. North American Challengers has started, and that means that teams all over the continent are going to be fighting it out to see who's going to be getting to go to the main event. Now, we're a little bit into the qualifiers at this point, so there are some results that we absolutely need to talk about. First off, it shouldn't be surprising that 100 Thieves has made their way into the main event. But what is surprising is that they did it with a former player. During their match against Noble, one of the main members of the 100 Thieves squad, Ethan, kept dropping from the game due to a power outage, meaning that 100 Thieves was going to have to forfeit the first match unless they could get a sub. Turns out, former member of the team, Dicey, who was replaced by Ethan shortly after 100 Thieves' first strike win, was following the team on Twitter and decided to post a power-up GIF in the response of the news of his replacement disconnecting. He wasn't expecting the org to reach out to him and ask him if he wanted to sub back onto the team for the rest of the match, but he did. So, two things here. First, big ups to Dicey for being dedicated enough to the esports to ditch his 4th of July plans to play on the team that let him go several months back. And second, huge props to 100 Thieves for being the kind of team that people will want to go back to. In the end, the team that took the series 2-1, with Ethan coming back for the latter 2 games after Dicey helped 100 Thieves steal the win. What else you're going back to? Senchigami. We're a team of independent creators making awesome content, all supported by Senchigami.com, where you can get bold designs on shirts, hoodies, hats, stickers, and soon more. Continuing on with the coverage of the first event for Valorant Challengers, there are some teams putting up numbers this past week that haven't had a chance to show up on the world stage before. The first is Rise, who was unfortunately dropped in the round 16 last event, and then there is perhaps the newest Valorant team to get into the top 8, Kansas City Pioneers. Aside from winning the award for having, by far, the most traditional sports name of all the teams in the top 8 at the moment, Kansas City Pioneers are actually a new enough team that they don't actually have a Liquidpedia page. And for those of you who don't dig into esports stats and tracking, that's absolutely insane. Liquidpedia is updated scarily fast, and in most cases for teams, it has every team you could ever think of on there, except for Kansas City. Oh, and Rise might have knocked C9 out of a spot in the main event, which, yeah, oof. Not a fan of that one, but at least the team that beat them is interesting. This does bring up something that we love about qualifiers at Senchigami, though. There is absolutely nothing stopping a completely unknown team from making it all the way to the world stage in the upcoming Masters Berlin. Many esports circuits have a set roster of teams that have a chance to make it to the main event, but Valorant's qualifiers make sure that we're pulling from a pool of hundreds. We here at Senchigami really hope that never changes because it will ensure the people on the throne are never too comfortable. I mean, Sentinels and Version 1, the 2 teams that were at Reykjavik, both made it to the main event and will likely make it to the playoffs, but there is the off chance that someone like the Kansas City Prodigy will knock them off their throne and fly all the way to Berlin to represent North America. That is most of it from us this week at Ventrilicity. Bit of a shorter episode while I settle into my new studio on my end. Thank you for being so patient. Once again, if you want to support what we're doing here, all the content here on Senchigami's channel is powered by and run by Senchigami.com and the Senchigami Discord. Make sure to join us on there and talk about some of the big things that are happening in the coming weeks for Valorant. Next week, our eyes are going to be on Europe as well. There are a lot of games to talk about, folks, so I'll see you next week. In the meanwhile, check your corners. It's been real. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. Turns out, former member of the team, Dicey, who was replaced by Ethan shortly after 100 Thieves' first strike win, was following... Why did I say it like that?